So this last kind of factoring is called difference of squares. That's what this is called, difference of squares. Do you know how sum means adding? Difference means, okay, so there's going to be subtraction, and we just need to remember our perfect squares. So up at the top by your name, let's list out our perfect squares. The first one is 1, and people tend to forget about 1, but the square root of 1 is 1. So you got to remember that one. The next one is 4, and then 9, and then 16. Good. Let's see if we can go all the way up through 12 squared. 25 is 5 squared. 36, good. 49. 64. 81. 100. And let's just go up to 12. Let's go a little further. Good. Now they obviously go on forever because numbers are infinite, okay? But you just need to be on the lookout for those numbers. Now this is a trinomial where the middle term is 0. The middle term is missing. So as you look at this one, and I'm only going to do this for the first one just to show you how it works, because after that you're going to just see the pattern and these will go really quick. But I want you to rewrite this as a squared plus 0a minus 49. Do you see how it's a trinomial, but the middle term is nothing? Like it's, thank you, it's just missing. So go ahead and draw your X box once I finish this. Negative 49 goes on the top, 0 goes on the bottom. So you need to come up with numbers that multiply to be 49. 7 and negative 7. And do you see how the square root of 49 is 7? That's the pattern that you want to be looking for. So when you draw your two sets of parentheses, can you just hold on, guys? It's going to be a plus 7 and a minus 7. And that's how they'll all turn out. That's the pattern. Once I do a couple of these, it's going to click and you'll start racing through them. But can you just hold that back and stay with me so we can all stay together? Do you notice how this is a 64 and that's a perfect square? Draw your two sets of parentheses. What is your square root of 64? 8. So this is going to be a plus 8 and a minus 8. Because 8 minus 8 equals 0. Cool. Look at the next one. Do you notice how the middle term is missing? And 9 is a perfect square. So draw your two sets of parentheses. What is your square root of 9? X plus 3, x minus 3. Because 3 minus 3 is 0. They're going to get a little bit harder though, so you do want to write this down. Well, I mean, I can put a greatest common factor in and then it becomes a two-step problem, but other than that, that's what it is. I can make the numbers bigger, but that's really all it is. All right, do you see how the middle term's missing and 36 is a perfect square? Yes. Draw your two sets of parentheses. It will be k plus 6, k minus 6. So again, you're like, hey, can it get harder? Well, it can be a two-step problem. What do you notice about 3 and 12? You can take 3 out. So this one's going to be a two-step problem. A two-step problem instead of a one-step problem. You're going to be okay. When you divide by 3, you would be left with x squared minus what? 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now, if I cover this up, that's been working well, so I'm going to just do that. If I cover this up, now this is exactly what we did in these problems. Draw your two sets of parentheses. And what's your square root of 4? 2. So this will be x plus 2, x minus 2. And you just have to keep the 3 out front. So when you said, hey, can it get harder? Well, I mean, there was an extra step in that, but was it really harder? One extra step of work. Let's try it again. What do you notice about both of these? You can take out 5 and an n. Good job. So if you divide them both by 5n, you will be left with n squared minus, now what's left there when the whole thing divides out, like anything divided by itself is 1. 1 actually ends up being the trickiest number for this because people forget about it because it feels like it's nothing. All right, but let me cover this up. Draw your 2 sets of parentheses. What's your square root of 1? Good. So it'll be n plus 1, n minus 1. To be really honest, that is the one that trips people up the most. And I totally get that because 1, it feels like you shouldn't have to do anything, but it's 1. And then put the 5n back out front. Now these ones just have some larger numbers in it, but it's not going to be any different. You need to be a good noticer. Do you see how 25 and 4 are both perfect squares? All right, so draw your 2 sets of parentheses. What's your square root of 25? 5. So it'll be 5 in the start. And then what's your square root of 4? 2. So it'll be plus 2x and minus 2x. One's plus and one's minus. So again, the numbers can get bigger. That's the other thing we can do with that. But like how you do the problem doesn't actually change. Don't stop focusing. We have 3 more to do. You're going to be totally okay. Draw your 2 sets of parentheses. What's your square root of 1? 1. So those will just both stay 1. And then what's your square root of 16? So this will be plus 4x. Good. And then minus 4x. It does not matter. And then these ones have a greatest common factor again. For 18 and 28, gosh, what can we take out of both of those? Let me see. I'll just type it in. Well, do you remember how to do this? GCF 18 comma, what was it, 128? 2, I guess, is the biggest thing we can take out. Gosh, I thought it was going to be bigger than that. Oh, well. All right, put 2, start a parenthesis. We're going to divide them both by 2. That would leave you with 9x squared minus 64. And what you have to notice is both 9 and 64. Good. Okay, let me cover up the 2. Draw your 2 sets of parentheses. What's your square root of 9? 3. So it'll be 3x for the start of it. And minus 8 and plus 8. I always put the plus first. That's my personal preference. Again, it doesn't matter though. Yeah, that's fine. Totally valid. And then out front is a 2. It won't make a difference. Now, what do you see these share in common? You can take an A. So if you take out an A, you're going to be left with 36a squared minus 49. We removed the A. We divided the A out. So do you notice 36 and 49? Perfect squares. Again, I'm going to cover this up. Put your 2 sets of parentheses. What's your square root of 36? 6a plus 7 minus 7, and then put the A out front. Please don't lose this piece of paper because there's like one other little topic I was going to show you on the back, but we'll just save that for next time because you guys did your benchmark today.